I'd like to tell you something about losing weight that somehow nobody ever talks about. I think of it as a muscle, and when that muscle is strengthened, it has a tremendous impact on your ability to lose weight. Let me give you an example. I'd like to tell you the story about Jennifer. Jennifer is a perfect example of someone who learned how to use this mysterious muscle with tremendous success. At nearly 200 pounds, Jennifer was unhealthy, she was unhappy, and her marriage was at an all-time low. When her young son asked her to come out and play with her in the backyard, she just couldn't do it. She didn't have the energy. She was overweight and she was tired. Her doctor told her what she really needed to do is watch what she was eating and maybe do a little exercise. One day, Jennifer was over at a friend's house and she noticed that her friend was down on the floor playing with her little daughter. And Jennifer looked at that and said, "You know, I sure wish I could do that." And so she started thinking about what the doctor said about watching what she's eating and doing a little exercise. And she said, "You know, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to become the person that I really want to be." Well, today Jennifer weighs 115 pounds. She is a hands-on mom. She exercises 2 or 3 times a week. She started a whole new lifestyle, and she's kept that going for the last 2.5 years. When you ask Jennifer what her success is, how she did that, she says, "Well, I just decided I wanted to feel good about myself, and I wanted to maintain a yes, I can attitude, which enabled me to do all that." So what's the key to Jennifer's success? One of the keys is she learned how to use her willpower muscle. You know, willpower is like a muscle. If you exercise your willpower muscle, it gets stronger. If you don't, it gets weak and flabby. You can learn how to use your willpower muscle, and that can enable you to do some amazing things. You know, as Jennifer was gaining 200 pounds, or almost 200 pounds, she obviously wasn't demonstrating much willpower. But once she made the decision to exercise her willpower muscle, it was amazing what happened, and you can see the result. I learned a great deal about willpower when traveling around China over a 30-year period. And I went to some fascinating places. At the Shaolin Temple, the birthplace of Kung Fu, I learned what gives Shaolin monks the ability to stick to a goal no matter what, no matter how hard it is. On the Wudang Mountain in China, I learned what gives Taoist priests the ability to forego any short-term gratification. At the Qin village in China, the birthplace of Tai Chi, I learned that you really can control your willpower muscle, and as you do that, it gets stronger over time. So, what is willpower? Willpower is an internal ability. It's your ability to control your actions. It's your ability to do something difficult. It's your ability to forego short-term gratifications. And learning to control willpower can enable you to do things you couldn't even imagine. The key thing I learned in China is to start with something small. Pick out one thing that you're having difficulty controlling and try to control that, one small thing. For example, let's say that you're sedentary. Talk yourself into going outside and walking around the block every day for a week. Let's say that you're addicted to cheesecake. Tell yourself not to eat cheesecake for the next 7 days. These small self-control exercises might seem inconsequential, but they're not. They're very important. They're building a willpower muscle. And over time, that will enable you to do big things to control willpower that you're having trouble controlling right now. Another thing I learned in China is what Jennifer discovered. You really need to maintain, as you're going through this, a yes, I can attitude. Yes, I can control that urge to do something wrong before I jump into it. Yes, I can watch less TV and do more exercising. Yes, I can eat less junk food and more healthy food. In net, yes, I can become the person I really want to be.